Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
It's 7:45 on Saturday the 18th of January, just on my way down to the land. Been a terrible week for the weather this week, and it rained again overnight, but thankfully this morning has dawned cool but dry, so hopefully we'll get something done today. Not quite sure what I'll get done, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land, and for a change it's a nice dry morning. Sun's just peeking out above the clouds. It's been a terrible week for weather this week, and of course I've been at work, so I've not managed to get much of anything done down here on the field, but hopefully today we'll rectify that. One thing that I did manage to get done while I was at work yesterday was to have a truck come down and drop 4 tons of aggregate on the entranceway, but even that wasn't without event. The truck that was delivering managed to get itself stuck. And as you can see, he's left some nice holes for me to fill in, which is exactly what will happen with that aggregate that he dropped off. So cabin is much as I left it last weekend, so hopefully we'll get something done today. So the cabin is as it was when I finished up on my last video, which was last weekend. We've managed to get the base down for the extension. Really pleased that I covered that with a tarpaulin. Weather's been terrible all week this week. Rained on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Storm Brendan came through with lots of rain and 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. Fortunately, the tarpaulin stayed in place. I'm really quite surprised. Clearly this one has lifted up, because it was down the same as the other one on the floor, but yeah, it stayed pretty much where it was, so we'll try and make a bit more progress with that extension today. Little pheasant running around the field again this morning. I've just scared him off. Came to change the trail cam at the feeder. That spooked him a little bit. But it's nice to see that they're all still around. I'm busy waiting for a wood delivery to arrive so I can do a bit more work on the cabin extension. So in the meantime, you remember this stone from quite a long time ago now, when I first bought the land. I salvaged this, so I'm going to use this to fill in some of the bigger holes out on the entrance there, and then I'll top it with that fresh aggregate that's just been delivered yesterday. So that should keep me busy for a little while, and it'll keep me warm in this cold weather. So while I'm waiting for the wood to come, I'm just filling in the worst bits with the big stone, and I'm now going to start just popping out some of the aggregate just to lay out the basic outline for where the track needs to go, so that we don't run off into the soft bits. So that might take a while. Well, that's the wood arrived, so the work with the aggregate is going to have to stop for now while I get all of this moved across to the cabin. If I thought I was out of breath moving the aggregate, I'm certainly going to be moving all this wood. It's further than you think walking from the field entrance across here, but job done. Lots of feather edge board now to do the cladding for the side of the extension, and lots of 3x2s to construct a frame for the extension. I've just took the tarpaulin off the floor and the base of the extension area, just to let it air off. It's been quite a hard frost overnight, so the tarpaulin was covered in water and ice, and some of it managed to leach its way underneath. So I'll just let that dry out. Actually, it's not too bad. It's just a little patch here and there. You might be able to see it on the video. I don't know. So yeah, I'll let the tarpaulin dry out, let the base dry out, while I go back over there to the entrance and try and sort out that aggregate pile. I don't want to leave it like that in case people start thinking it's a place to dump whatever crap they might have at the side of the road. So I'll get on with that. Well, it's 1 o'clock. It's taken pretty much all morning, but it's all done. Just needs to dry out a little bit and to settle, and then I can maybe next weekend start driving over it just to flatten it down. But finally the whole entranceway is done, which is a bit of a bonus. Well, that's half the day gone with that entranceway. So what I'm going to try and do now is get a coat of paint onto the base for the extension. Might do those doors as well, the insides, I don't know. See how I get on. There's probably just enough time for that to dry before I go. So let's see how we get on with that. Well, that's the doors done. Time to try and tackle this base before it gets too late. Well, it's a little bit slow going, but I've got a third of the base done. The time just flies by. It's incredible how quick the day goes. Sun's already starting to go down, not up, behind the trees. But I've been really fortunate today. It's not rained at all. It's cold, but it's okay. So if I can just get this base cracked in, I'll be a very happy Teddy. I'll just keep pressing on and see how it goes. Well, we're cracking on with it. That's 2/3 done, but I have to get a bit of a move on because that light is starting to fade now, and when I finish this I'll need to get everything covered up with tarpaulins just in case it rains tonight. Good thing about this OSB board that I've used for the base is that it is actually supposed to be waterproof. It's got some kind of treatment on it. So the painting really is just to give it a bit extra cover and to make it look a bit nicer. Downside is, because it's OSB, there's lots and lots of fiddly little gaps and cracks, and you really have to work the brush in to get the paint to cover. But not to worry, get this done today. That's a massive job done, so I'll be very happy. Well, it's taken a few hours, but the extension base is now all painted out. It's looking quite nice. Again, thankfully, we've had no rain today. Not quite sure about tonight. There are a few clouds just starting to drift over. I'm praying that they don't come tonight, because really I'd like to leave this uncovered now to let it dry out. But yeah, good job done today. Last job before I go is just organising all this wood. It's laid around in lots of different piles, or it was. I'm just consolidating it into one big pile, make it a bit easier to get a tarpaulin over it, just in case it does rain tonight. I don't want this feather edge board getting wet, and especially I don't want the framing 3x2s getting wet. All of this is a little bit expensive to waste. So yeah, I'll just finish this off. Not much more to do, get it tarpaulined, and then it'll be home time, because as you can see the sun is dipping down behind the horizon. So I better get cracking and finish this off. Well, we're done for the day now. I'm going to leave that base exposed tonight, just to make sure that it has a chance to get the air on it and to dry thoroughly. If it gets damp in the morning with dew, or if it does happen to rain in the middle of the night, the paint will have dried, so I figure it'll be okay as it is. All wood covered up. I can't believe how much I've actually got stashed here, ready to build the extension. Not quite sure when that's going to happen, but that's it for today. The sun is definitely going down. It's getting a little bit dark, and to be honest, I have done an awful lot today with the aggregate and moving the wood and painting everything, so I am ready for a bit of a rest and something to eat.
Well, that's it for this video. Hope you found something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. What do you think about the driveway? Is it about time that we got that fully stoned so that we can drive on it? I do think it is, but I am just amazed how many people ignore people's advice and drive onto the soft bits and get stuck. But hey, that's another story. So for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.